It's May 18th, 2022. Darci's Corner, kind of. Just wanted to ramble a little bit about my beekeeping and how that's going. You know, I found in life I have to focus on the things that I enjoy, the things that I think I'm good at, and my successes in life, because too much of life is full of hardship and failure and things that I just are very depressing. But this is my 6th year beekeeping, and when I started off, I didn't have anybody to teach me anything except YouTube. And there's so many places you can go on YouTube to learn beekeeping, and you can get some really rough advice to start off with. The first guy I watched and kind of liked was all about go foundationless was his thing. And he's like, yeah, we'll just do everything foundationless and that'll be great. And that is very hard to do as a beginner beekeeper, is to go foundationless. You can do it, but you still need to have foundation frames in between your non-foundation frames. Otherwise, things won't go straight because the bees will do what the bees want to do. Once you get them going in a straight line, then they're okay, but you have to set them up first, so you have to have something, some structure for them to follow. After you've got some structured frames in there, then you can swap them out and put in a foundationless frame. You can either start it with some comb or you can put a little tang on it, and they'll build comb on that. Why would you go foundationless? Well, if you end up with a whole bunch of swarm cells or a bunch of emergency cells in your colony and you want to remove them from that frame to put them into multiple colonies, it's nice if you can cut them out. Grafting is an excellent skill, but you need a large number of bees to do it, and it takes it's easy to squish some little grubs when you're scooping them out with your plastic thing or your metal thing, and you put them in the cup, and then you set up your beehive with the cups, but you missed one egg or one grub somewhere on one of your frames, and so then the bees don't make queens out of your cups, they make queens out of that one egg or that one cup. It drives you crazy. That was my 2nd year beekeeping. I was trying to do that, and I needed a lot more bees than what I had to make that work. I was hoping to do grafting this year, but most of my colonies didn't survive the winter. But like usually all my colonies die in the winter, and this year 2 of them initially survived, and then the one didn't make it past February, and the other one almost didn't make it. There wasn't quite enough pollen in there, so I added some more pollen, and they made it, but they weren't doing great. So I bought 2 bee packages from New Zealand and I set them up, but I had the comb already established and I had food there for them, and I know a whole bunch of things now about how to get them started. So I gave them a pretty good fighting chance to establish themselves, and they did. They established themselves in the 2 hives I set up, and then I went away for a while. And I always want to get back in there and see what's going on. But it's quite a ways away from where I live, and I haven't had the gas money to go out there. But I thought I better go out there this week because it's been a couple weeks and I want to make sure things are going well. And it was a good thing I did, because I went out there to check on my established hive, and it was full of swarm cells or emergency cells. So something happened to the queen. I don't know if I injured her when I was in there last. I don't think I did, but maybe I did. But something happened to her, and she's not there no more. So they made themselves like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 new queens. Problem is, only one of them gets to live, and she goes around and kills all the rest. Unless the beekeeper gets in there and makes some adjustments, which is what I did. I had plans for today to move the one established hive to another part of the yard, and to possibly establish 2 or 3 more hives. Depending on how many um, brood frames I had available. And I was very disappointed to see that that one queen was dead. My other hives, I have different size brood frames because I'm trying to accomplish a different style of queen breeding for myself. But that was okay because they had enough population that they're going to live, and their queens were fine. So I was able to steal some brood frames from them to fix up the one where the queen was gone, and I was able to steal some of the queen cells out of there that they had made and establish 2 extra nukes. So I currently have 5 colonies, whereas before I had 3. Um, and I'll go back in another 2 weeks and see where things are at. I'm probably not going to go back before then because, one, I don't have the gas money, and number 2, it takes the bees a little bit to get themselves going. It takes 21 days for a new batch of soldiers to hatch, as it were. And so, 2 weeks isn't 21 days, but it does take 2 weeks for a queen to hatch, though, from the time she gets made. And I don't know exactly when the queens that I just went and got were made. I don't know when their original queen died and the bees panicked and made a bunch of queen cells. So those queen cells could hatch today, tomorrow, next week. But sometime between now and the next 14 days, they'll hatch. And there's multiple queen cells on a couple of different frames. So whichever queen hatches first, she gets to live and the other ones don't. But I can't do anything about that. But I did spread them out so that they're in 3 different colonies. The original colony where the original queen died, there's some queen cells in there. And then and the 2 new ones that I established using bees from my other 2 colonies that lived, and brood frames. It's a little complicated, but that's kind of why I like beekeeping. I also like that when you get in there, you don't know what the problems are. Like, you can have a plan ahead of time. I think I'm going to do this and try and establish colonies this way. But then you get in there and see what they're actually doing. And you go, okay, who is strong? Who is not? How can I make the best out of what I have in front of me? I like having to use my mind. It is therapeutic to work with bees. Somebody was telling me the other day they have a different frequency and it calms you, and maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I don't know. I can't explain to you the magic of why I enjoy beekeeping, but it definitely is a passion of mine. And because there's so many different ways to do beekeeping, it's okay if my way is different from your way, as long as I get results. And I'll get more efficient as I go. It's just a matter of practice and repetition, and you have to learn how to think like a bee. What does this bug need to survive? What are the optimal conditions that will help it grow the best? And if you provide those conditions for it, it'll do the rest. Anyway, I guess I had a good day. I got to feel like I knew what I was doing, and I made a difference, and things are moving in the right direction. I should have 5 or 6 good honey producing colonies for the month of June. That makes me very excited. Anyway, Darcy's Corner. Peace.